Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm from the United States, and I currently live in New Orleans, Louisiana. I am a musician and an occasional teacher, performer, entertainer. Why Iceland? Why Iceland? I mean, specifically, I'm not sure. Not specifically. You know, I was looking online for residencies because I knew that I wanted to have some time away from my regular gigging and performance lifestyle to just focus on my own thing for a minute. I guess I really decided on Iceland after a crazy first couple of years of living in New Orleans. I moved down there, actually I think, what day is it, 2016? 2016. Yeah, I mean three years ago, just like 3 years and a week ago, I was kind of kicked out of Canada, if you will, because of some visa issues, and that indirectly kind of started my professional life, if you will. I don't know if you can call it that, but it started my working life after I took a pretty long road trip and came down to New Orleans, and I started playing a lot right away and hanging out with everybody down there, and I started playing and working way more than I think I knew I wanted to, and I got so burnt out so quickly from playing the same types of gigs over and over again, sometimes 2-3 times a day. And when that started happening was the same time that I had, you know, some relationship issues at the time, and everything just took a toll on me, and I looked for something to be able to get away where I could just sit down and write and paint and draw and practice a little bit and just kind of get back into my creative self, because I felt like I had lost a lot of the instinctual, like if you want to create something, you just do it. You don't worry about what anyone's going to think of you, because in today's world, whatever field you're in, whatever medium you're in, whether it's a medium of art or science or literature or business, or everyone is so worried about what everyone's going to think of them that I feel, personally, that it causes a lot of people to not even get past the process of thinking about something. And just the basic form of creation is what has kept humanity intact this long. And people are doing it less and less, and I think that's why we're seeing higher rates of depression and higher rates of all these different things, because people are just unwilling to express themselves in whatever way that is, whether it's dancing by yourself to your favorite song at night that you don't want anybody else to know is your favorite song, or painting a picture even if it looks like something that nobody wants to see, you still did it. It's still a product of you, and it shows just like where you are. And art is the most honest thing, because even though it's, you know, we try to say that nothing is absolute, like, you know, this painting on my desk is absolute. Like, that is where I am as a painter. And like, I can't argue with that, nobody can argue with that. And, you know, when I found out, when I looked online and started searching for places about a year ago, in October of 2015, I came across a couple places, including this one. I started looking at it and just doing a little bit of mini research. I'm not a good student, and it was just like in the east of Iceland. I was like, I've never been to Iceland, and I know that nobody that goes to Iceland has been here, at least. They never told me about it. And then I saw there were 100 people living here, and they just converted this old fish hatchery or fish factory, whatever, into a creative center. And I looked inside and I was like, what the hell? This is in the middle of nowhere, on the edge of nowhere, on the edge of the world practically. And so I sent, it took me a couple months to get up the courage to actually send in an application and to commit to doing it continuously after that. A year later, I flew into Iceland airport and saw you and Tallinn Karkan. And now I leave in 4 days. It's crazy. It was, it wasn't so much of a risk. I think a lot of my friends made it a bigger deal than I did, or maybe I'm just an insensitive bastard and I don't feel things until after the fact. But it wasn't so much of a risk, like coming here, getting on a plane, like taking a trip across the world. Like, that's not a big deal. That's just life. But I think the biggest thing was coming here and not only getting into your own stuff, but, you know, dealing with your own internal stuff. Because as much as we want to, as much as we would love to believe like the romantic version of leaving a place and all your worries and woes go out the window, you know, even after leaving a place, it's only a couple of days when you have that little grace period of, oh, I'm not worried about anything. But whatever bullshit was in your mind and your heart before, it never leaves until you deal with it. And you know, that was one of the hardest parts about this month, was just like being honest about not just who I am, but like what do I really believe in? Is it what about my work and my art and my life do I really believe in, and what parts do I not? Because those parts that you don't believe in are going to be the parts that put you into dark spaces and limit what you as a human being can do and how you can contribute to the world and make it a little bit better.